Good morning, dear students. Welcome back for the today session of operation management. As we discussed in our previous class about the decision support systems, which is required for the purpose of providing informations and data related to our operations, and then under that we discuss one of the economical model or economic model of operation management, based particularly by the name of break event analysis. Break event, and under the event analysis we say that it is that type of analysis which shows that the break event point of the operations. In the break event analysis we do focus on the where there is no profit and where there is no loss of the operations. Particularly, that is the the point, or that is the area where the operation does not give the profit as well as the loss. Sometimes for the organization it is mandatory or required, apart from getting the loss, they are trying to manage the operations in a such a way where they don't get loss as well as the profit. So, and then there were some certain calculations and formulas for the purpose of calculating the break even point. So fixed cost is also considerable, variable cost is also considerable respectively. We had and we discussed some of the particular formulas. Today we are particularly going to discuss the another very significant topics of the economic model of the operation management, is by the name of margin of safety. After understanding the break even point or the break even analysis of the operations, here the manager of the organizations, or the one who is concerned for doing the operation, is responsible to be well known with the word of margin of safety. So for this purpose I have prepared the today topic of the remaining course policy by the name of margin of safety. Yeah, here as we do have that the margin of safety, which is also known as by the name of MOS, margin of safety. Basically, before to define the margin of safety, we have to know the word of margin. Basically, dear students, if you focus some of the organizations, some of the manufacturing organizations, or some of the organizations which are producing some of the products, or if you focus on the production department of that particular organizations, the word of margin is been used too much and very familiar to them. Margin basically is that level of profit which is going to be added by the organization on the product. For example, if I say that the cost of for the cost of a product, or the expenses which has been incurred for the purpose of producing a product, is that particular cost plus some of the profit or some of the point to be added by the organization. Again, cost plus that point or that profit, or that amount of consideration which are done by the organization will be giving us price. Let me give an example for the purpose of understanding the word of margin. If the cost of the product is the cost of a mobile, in order to produce a mobile is around 20k. So here the organization will be adding some extra amount for the purpose of earning profit, because none of the organization will be working without profit. They are always considering profit. So 20,000 plus that extra amount which the organization is going to consider it for its operation, that is called as margin. So now if they are considering 2,000 margin, so now 20 plus 2,000 would be the price of that product which is going to be released into the market. Or let me just explain for the purpose of better understanding. Dear students, as we say that if an organization is going to produce a product, obviously there will be the usage of some expenditures. A product is not going to be produced simply. There is the requirement of some of the expenditures. for that operation, right, to operate that product. So that expenditures which are required for producing a product from A to Z will be done by the organizations, particularly that is the cost of the product. Now cost plus that extra amount or extra point which the organization is going to consider it for itself, that is called as margin. Now the cost plus margin will always give us the price of that product which is going to be produced within the market. Now under the operations, once we are clear with the word of margin, margin is that extra point or extra money or extra profits which the organization is going to consider for itself. So today we have to know that what do you mean by margin of safety under the operation management. Yeah, it is defined as the ratio between operating profit and contribution margin. The students, it is in a ratio between the operating profit as well as the contribution margin. It's mean that for the purpose of operating a product, as I said before, that the organization will be considering some of the profit for itself as well as the contribution margin. It's mean that how much margin has been contributed toward the market or toward the operating that particular product. यानी बजी मोनो के खुद हमें margin of safety चीज़ यास की the buying operating profit as well as contribution चीज़ में क्यों ना बर्मा तनासब बरनशान में तन. So here if we do have, for example, the operating profit is 10 and the contribution margin is 5, now 10 divided by 5 will give us 2. So 2 is the margin of the safety, and it signifies the functional reduction in the current activity level required to each the break-even point. This margin of safety is used for the purpose of reducing some of the current activities for the operations. यानी बजी मोनो के मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी हमेशा कॉर्बोर्ड दिशियाज द ऑपरेशन कि वो हमेशा चीज़ में कुनन या गौन एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटी या एक्टिविटी होई कि या फॉलेट होई कि बॉयस मिशन की मसरफ या हमो मसारिफ या ऑपरेशन बोलो बरा उरा ज़िरी कंट्रोल खुद में करन यानी उरा बाद या ज़मीन चीज़ में कुनन काम में कुनन बजी मोनो कि मैनेजर हमेशा बहुत सारी मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी कॉर कुनन तो बुतोनन अद्य अकाल हमें ऑपरेशन रा अगर बस समती या बतरफ प्रॉफिट ना बरान बतरफ ची खूब बरान बतरफ ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट हो बरान. It's mean it always gives us the justification between the operating profit as well as contribution, as well as it always help for the purpose of reducing the current activity or the current expenses or the current cost or money which is being used for the purpose of operation to at least make it in at the break-even point. यानी बजी मोनो अगर मैं बखवाइम क्या दे अकाल ऑपरेशन में बनोक्ता ही या बसाती चीज़ बरसानिम बसाती ब्रेक इवेंट पॉइंट बरसानिम ब्रेक इवेंट पॉइंट अको मशमा गुफ्त इनकिन नोक्ता ही यास या हालत इरा बयान में कुछ मुझे ना प्रॉफिटस वना हम लॉसेस बिना अना में मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी दारार से साख्तानी ऑपरेशन में द ब्रेक इवेंट पॉइंट या द ब्रेक इवेंट लेवल बरसानिम ये चीज़ में कुछ खोमाक में कुछ. So apart from understanding the margin of safety, so we have to know that sales turnover. It is also accounting terminology basically, but under the operations, as I said that before that there is the requirement of some of the expenditure और यानी द चौकटी ऑपरेशन मोमिगिम की जो चीज़ ज़रूरत है मसारिफ की सूरत में गिरन चीज़ लॉज मशीनरी बुगुई चीज़ लॉज एसेट्स बुगुई चीज़ लॉज लेबर बुगुई इनो कुलिश मसारिफ है इसके ऑपरेशन चीज़ में कुनन सूरत में गिरन बिना मामिगिन की सेल्स टर्नओवर कि बनो में STO मसमामी कुनन ई हम खुदशी की आज मौजूद बिस्यार उम्दे है कि द ऑपरेशन मैनेजमेंट चीज़ दौरान रोल दौरान व नाक्श दौरान बियन बिमिन की चीज़ the sales turnover is defined as the ratio between sales revenue and the capital employed. यानी ई तनासब बइन दो चीज़ निशान में तस में खुद सेल्स टर्नओवर ये किशा بيني سيلز ريفينيو بزي مونا كي باران دودي كي ما سيلز ميكونيم ازو ماچي داريم عايد داريم يا درآمد داريم درآمدي فروش ما with respect to the capital employed چقدر پیسه مصرف شده یعنی تناسب بین سيلز ريفينيو یا امی درآمد مصرف with respect to the capital employed. Yeah, capital employed in sales means that how much money is being used. چقدر پیسه را ما چیز کردیم با مصرف رسوندیم. بنابراین این را بنامه چی میگه؟ بنامه سیلز ترنوور ratio masama mikunan. So particularly the margin of safety was the ratio between the operating profit as well as contribution margin. یعنی وی سری بخشی امی فایده های عملیاتی و contribution margin چیز میکنن فوکس میکنن whereas the sales turnover ratio always focus the ratio between the sales revenue as well as the capital employed, and it represents the number of the times capital employed in the turnover to reach the sales revenue level, that is called as operating management performance. Dear students, for the purpose of increasing or analyzing the performance level of the operations within the organizations, this sales turnover ratio is very considerable, which shows us that how much time the money has been employed. It shows us the time durations or the number of the times which are required for the purpose of operating that particular project within the organizations. بناهن ما میگیم که به همین مارجین آف سیفتی در بخش آپریشنی که از موضوعات بسیار عمده می باشند که در بین چرا بر ما تعریف میکنن رشیو تناسب بین operating profit as well as contribution margin را بر ما شما تعریف میکنن و هی همیشه کمک میکنه تا ما بتانیم که همین current activity هایی که در بخش آپریشن استفاده میشه تا ما بتانیم break even point را چیز کنیم حداقل به دست بیاریم. And then we say that this sales turnover sales ratio also is one of the another portions of the operation management which can be defined between the sales revenue as well as the capital employed. And then we say that this sales turnover ratio always shows the number of time. This is very important. The number of times capital employed. چند مرتبه یا به چند بار ما میگیم که پیسه یا منی در بخش آپریشن چقدر استعمال شده یا استعمال میشود. بناهن به هر اندازه‌ای که the higher graph of the margin of the safety as well as the higher graph of the sales turnover ratio is, that much the operating management performance is high, یعنی is better. یعنی بازی مانا که بر اندازی که ما مارجین آف سیفتی خوبیش یا بالا و همراه سیل ترنووری بالا داشته باشیم، بازی مانا که ما میگیم که آپریشن ما چی است؟ سکسسفول است. So here basically each and every organization wants that their operation should be successful. For the purpose of to be successful in our operations, each and every organization has its own strategies and policies in order to develop that operation. So let's discuss one by one. Here we do have some of the companies for the purpose of improving the operation management performance. They do have their strategies. So particularly we do have that by reducing the variable cost, the second one by reducing the fixed cost, the third one by increasing the sales price, and the last one is by increasing the activity level. So these around 4 strategies would help an organization for the purpose of what? For the purpose of improving the operation level of the organizations. In order to operate in a better way within the organizations toward any project, an organization must be considering these 4 strategies. So let's just elaborate it simply one by one. By reducing the variable cost, as we say that the students variable cost is something which is not fixed, it could be changed at any time, at any moment. So whenever the organization is trying to reduce the variable cost of an operation, that is useful for the purpose of what? Operation management performance. For example, if the variable cost of the product is 10 respectively, so if they try to reduce it by 9 rupees or 8 rupees, that would be beneficial to this system. Which system? Operation management. The second one is by reducing the fixed costs. In the same way, fixed costs are something which cannot be changed during a particular period of time. It would be fixed, it would be constant as it is. It is not going to be changed during the operation period. So here as much as they are trying to reduce the fixed cost of the operation, that much the performance of the operation is successful. For example, if the fixed cost is around 100 rupees, and with the help of some of the, with the help of this below we discuss margin of safety, or with the consideration of sales turnover ratio, if they are trying to, reduce the fixed cost of that operations, it's mean that that much the operation performance is successful. And the third one is increasing sales price. If the sales by adding extra price to the, to the operations or to the products of an organization, that much the operation of the, the organization is successful. As we do see that nowadays there is, huge or very speedily changes in the prices of the products within the market. So that much, you know the that much it is useful for the operation of the, the products. If you give an example of, the iPhone products within the markets, whenever they are going to operate a new iPhone to the market, so as much as they are going to consider the high sales price within the market, that much their operation would be successful. So basically this is the third strategies. And the last strategy is that by increasing the activities levels refer to the effectiveness and efficiencies. As much as they are trying to do more and better activities within the operation, that much the operation would be successful. يعني بناء همین چهار استراتژی است که از طرف کمپانی یا سازمان ها به خاطر بلند بردن ظرفیت اپریشن، یا ما میگیم که خود پرفورمنس یک اپریشن داخل یک بنیاد که بتانن کامیاب باشد، همین particular 4 strategies are used. Out of these all things, the first one is too much considerable, that's why we do have another separate slide for that one. Let's go through that. See here how the, reduction in the variable cost will be beneficial to the operation management performance. As we do have here, a reduction in the variable cost will bring down the break-even point, increase the, PV ratio, and increase the margin of safety. As I said here, that the margin of the safety is, the ratio between the operation profit as well as contribution. The same here, the as much as the, the variable cost is going to be reduced, that much the break-even point would be down. It's mean that the profit level is high, the project is going to be successful, the operation is going to be successful. So here, to achieve a required target profit of Z, variable cost could have to be controlled at V is equals to variable cost is equals to the SR. SR means the sales revenue minus fixed cost plus Z. It is basically a demonstration or determination that shows that when there is reduction in the variable cost, that much the, the target profit would be achieved. So for today I have very simple and interesting calculation of the break-even point. So this would be our, second numerical model or calculative aspects of the operation management. So in this, basically if you go for the calculation of the break-even point, this below chart or this below particulars or details would be given for us. So like we do have machines C. So here machines 1, 2, 3s are given. The total annual fixed costs are also given. They are just calculating with respect to the year base. On the year base, they have given us fixed costs. For the machine 1, for 1 year, the fixed cost would be 9,600. For the machine 2 is 15,000, and for the machine 3 is 20,000. And here corresponding range of the output are also given. If machine 1, the total annual cost is occurring 9,600, but the output would be from 0 to 300, and then the machine 2 respectively 15,000, the output would be 301 to 600, and the machine 3 is 20,000 rupees, the output would be 601 to 900 rupees. It means that, as we say, that in operation is something that we are going to give the input and process it and then output it. So here 3 machines are given, the outputs are also given, the range of the outputs as well as the fixed costs. With the help of this data or this information or this particulars, we are going to find it out the break-even point of the operations. So let's see in illustrations what they do have and what they do required. So a manager has an option of purchasing 1, 2 or 3 machines. Fixed cost and potential volumes are below. As if you do remember, and during the regular classes, as I say, that decisions, decision in the different areas, we discussed 3 areas for the purpose of taking decision of an operation management. So these things are are used here when a manager is facing 3 ways or 3 machines, or he has decided to buy 3 machines, 1 machine out of 3, excuse me. So he has to take appropriate decisions. One aspect is theory and one aspect is numerical. This is what we are going to discuss today, which machine would be more beneficial for the organization to get at least what break-even point. و ایران به خاطر داشته باشن که هر اپریشنی که داخل یک بنیاد میشه، سازمان حداقل ایره محاسبه میکنن یا تو یک تصمیم میگیرن که اینا با تاوان نروند و با لاس هم نروند، با لاس نروند و پروفیت نروند. یعنی من نقطه وسطیش سلکت میکنن که مینیمم همی ماشین یا همی اپریشن و ای لبر و یا ای اسیتس بر ما حداقل اگر تاوان فایده نمیکنن تاوان هم نکنن. یعنی they are focusing on the break-even point. So I'm gonna to put it in a simple way. A person by the name of manager is trying to select 1 machine for the purpose of operation. The data and information of the machines are given respectively. The fixed cost annual based is given 1, 2, 3, and then the corresponding range output are also given. So let's go for the solution of such kind of the problems. Before to go for the solution, let go what they do have given to us and what they do required. Here you see that apart from the data which they have given in the table, so they have also added that the variable cost is 10 rupees per unit and the revenue is 40. If you do remember, in our previous class we say that the revenue is always symbolized in a B, and the variable cost is symbolized in a A, and the fixed cost is symbolized in a F. So with the help of the formula, what we will be having in our next class, slides, excuse me. Here this is also been added apart from the table. So they have given the table here for the for the solution of this problem, and they have added that the variable cost is 10 and then the revenue sales is 40. Revenue is how much? 40. So now what they do want, so we are asked to find it out the break-even point, determine the break-even point for each machine respectively, and the second point is that if the projected annual demand is between 580 to 660 units, how many machines should the managers purchase? So this is the illustrations and this is what they have been asked. Let's go for the solution. Under the solution, dear students, here see how to find it out the break-even point, because here it's 3 machines, we have to find it out 3 times the break-even point, one by one respectively. So for the machine, the formula for the solution for the solution of this illustration, the break-even point is equal to the F means that fixed cost based on the annual whatever they have given us, divided by B minus A. B is, as we say, that the volume of the the range of the revenue, as well as the minus A stand for the variable cost. So here 3 things are being used: fixed cost, and then the revenue, as well as the variable cost, which are given in the questions. The variable cost is 10 and the revenue is 40, and the the annual fixed costs are given below: 9,600, 15,000 and 20,000 rupees. So here, with the help of this formula, because they have given us the fixed cost on the annual base, so it makes more simple and easy to calculate it. So for the machine 1 respectively, the break-even point is F divided by B minus A is equals to the F. Let's see if the fixed cost for the machine A or 1 is 9,600. Put it out the value 9,600 minus the the revenue for each machines are given 40, so it's mean that 40 minus the variable cost for each machines are 10, so 40 minus 10. So after the calculation, 9600 divided by 30, so if you divide it, we will be getting 320 units. The break even point is how much? The break even point is 320 units. Why we are calculating in units? Because they have given the the range of the output as a unit, that's why we put as a unit. So after that I will be going for the why they have said there is no range. For the second machine, the same formula has been used, the same procedure, the same steps. Here the fixed cost for the machine 2 is 15,000 rupees. Let's put it out the value of 15,000 rupees. Then 40 minus 10, so it means that the revenue is 40 and the variable cost is 10. So 15,000 divided by 30, we will be getting 500 units. Respectively, for machine 3, the fixed cost has been given here 20,000 rupees. Let's put it out the 20,000 rupees minus B, revenue is 40 minus 10 is the variable cost. So if you divide 20,000 divided by 30, we will be getting 666.67. so this is the unit for the machine 3. So if you focus here 0 to 200, 300 to 600, and then 601 to 900, or their output. The output of machine 1 is this much, the machine 2 is 300 to 600, and the machine third is 601 to 900. If you focus the break even point for this unit, what would be the break even point? So respectively here for the machine 1, the break even point is 302, where the business or the operation is not getting profit or loss. It means that they has to produce, or the output must be 302. So here, because they say that the output is 300, so it means that this is not the break even point, this is 320. It is out of range, right? So we could not say that for the machine E is beneficial, that the manager would go for buying this machine. So this machine is not been used because the break even point is not considerable, because it is 0 to 300. If we were getting the the value of the between 0 to 300 as a big a break even point, then we could be considering that one. But basically here we are not going to be consider that one. So this machine is out of range, it means that is not being used for the operations. And the next one is that 500. If you focus here, this is in range, because 301 to 600, so the value is between these two. That's why it says that this machine could be in range, the break even point of 500 unit. And for the machine 3 is that the the break even point is that 666.67. so whereas we do have here 601 to 900, it is between, so this is also in range. So the manager needs to buy 2 machines for this particular operations. It's mean that machine 2 and 3 is our answer, our target, that the manager can buy these 2 machines. So if you go for the for this, if the project is between 580 to 660, again here we could say that the manager could buy or purchase these 2 machines. These 2 machines are considerable and useful for both the for both the questions. So here basically for the first questions we try to find it out, the break even point of the machine 1 and 2 is considerable, and for the option B, because it is 560 to 580 to 660 units, so then the manager has to focus on these 2 machines. These 2 machines are better than machine A, because as per the unit which they have given to us is these 2 machines are performing better. This was the way of calculating payback period with respect to the annual fixed cost as well as the corresponding units. If you do remember, while the once we say that operation management, it means that whenever we give some output, it should be processed with the help of management, with the help of some of the theories, with the help of some of the calculation, in order to have a better output from that one. So with respect to this illustration, machine 2 and machine 3 are giving better and good output with respect to the break-even point to the organization. Yeah, today we will be concluding here, dear students. So this was our second calculations with the of the operation management. The first calculation, if you do remember, during our regular classes we said that there are three methods being used for the calculating some of the operation aspects of an organization. That was minimax method, and then maximax method, and then Laplace, if you do remember. So this is the last calculation or numerical method under the operation management as per the course policy. خب محمد قدم کې د کورس پالیسی په می تعمیل قسمت را می خودی کلکولیشن یا مو نیومریکل مدلش زیر کاورج بگیرم و remaining classes ما شما انشالله تیوری خواهد بود و تیوری را ادامه میدیم. Thank you so much from your kind attentions. Stay safe and healthy, and God bless you.